Hello everyone! Today is a very exciting day because I'm going on a field trip with some other road safety nerds to Hoboken, New Jersey, a city that has not had a traffic fatality in the last 7 years. So in the traffic safety world, they're pretty famous. And you know, they're not doing any of these big, massive construction projects. They're doing a lot of low-cost, easily implementable solutions that they can just copy and paste throughout the city. So this is going to be really exciting to go down there and get a first-hand look at what exactly they're doing and what other cities can do to follow their model. So we just got off the PATH train in Hoboken. Immediately everyone's stopping to check out these sidewalk bump outs to help shorten the crosswalk distance, make pedestrians more visible as you're waiting here on the corner. So we just finished having lunch here at this restaurant. Now we're going to go take a tour of some infrastructure. But first, let's check out this intersection. It feels very human scale. It's compact. We have these bump outs extending the sidewalk space, so it's not just a big expanse of asphalt here. Check out this signal. We got the leading pedestrian interval there before the light turns green. Over there, giving pedestrians a head start for the crosswalk. So here we are checking out some very low-cost, efficient daylighting, preventing parking within 25 feet of the crosswalk so that people crossing are a lot more visible to oncoming cars. Here they're doing it with just paint and these flex posts. Now cars can still run over these. It's not going to really damage them, but you kind of don't want to drive over them in the first place. These are only, I don't know, 50 bucks each, so it's a pretty low-cost solution to really improve safety for the crosswalk. Here we can see a quick build installation of a multi-use path. You'll notice further up the sidewalk gets pretty narrow, and so this just gives people more space running, walking, biking to spread out and use some of the road instead.
They said he might have to turn up the tobacco while
So over here we've got a rain garden. It's missing some plants, but it's meant to capture all the drainage that was flowing along the old curb that would have been interrupted by this curb extension coming out. So this collects all the stormwater in a much more environmentally friendly way than putting it into drains, and it allows this extra pedestrian space to really shorten the crosswalk distances and make the intersection feel a little bit more compact.
Because it's, well, citywide 20, school 15.
So here we've got a physical bump out on the left side and a paint-only bump out on the right side. We're thinking there might have been some grade issues or drainage issues that prevented constructing an actual curb sidewalk here. But it's still a good solution, still allows pedestrians to walk out and become visible, with this island going back to prohibit parking within 25 feet of the crosswalk. Fun fact, these green-backed sharrows are now prohibited in the new MUTCD. They are pretty visible, but we can now no longer install them. Check out how much more visible the entire crosswalk is here. Imagine if there was a big SUV parked in this corner, you wouldn't be able to see people waiting to cross the street. This is pretty cool. We've got this stenciled asphalt red brick intersection just to make drivers a bit more alert that something's different here. And good thing it's raining today because we can see some of the water infiltration into this rain garden. Over here we got the paint and post daylighting and a physically constructed bump out, which is really big because we've got the back end parking over here, so you can make your bump out the full depth of the parking lane and really increase the pedestrian experience through here. This is a pretty cool intersection right outside of a playground. We've got the rectangular rapid flashing beacons. We've got a raised intersection. We got the daylighting with paint here and a little rain garden over there, and some cool art in the middle to get drivers' attention. You gotta slow them down, make them think about when they're driving through here, or kids might be present.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. They're really good at exact kind of patch here because it's all flush curb condition. So if you're blind, you wouldn't know.
I wonder if this might, this might have been. That looks pretty good. I wonder if this was it after the.
So when building pedestrian bump outs, one of the major concerns is, oh, now we have to redo all the drainage because we're moving the curb lines. Here's a really creative solution that kept all the existing drains in place. We have this new rain garden here bumping out the curb line into the road. We have this inlet along the curb so that all the storm water can flow along the path it wants to take. And then let's head on over to the corner. And at the corner, you can see the existing catch basin is still being kept in the exact same place, and they just lowered the curb along here so that water can flow from the street directly in, and none of the drainage had to be replaced here, really saving a lot of money. All right, so I'm back in Connecticut, and what a great trip we had today. I've visited Hoboken many times in Google Maps and Street View, but never actually in person. So it was such a great experience to actually get our feet out on the street and see what they've been doing in real life. I think the overall story of today was small changes in large quantities. Kind of like what I mentioned in the intro, they're not doing these big, flashy, multi-million-dollar projects in single locations. They're taking very basic and proven engineering concepts and just applying them citywide. Something that I kind of realized towards the end of the trip, thinking about how I've felt walking on our tour today, was I never felt unsafe walking across any intersection. And we even had members of our group standing in the middle of the road, checking out curbs and slopes on sidewalk ramps, and I never really feared for their safety either. Everything felt so comfortable. And you know, data can tell one very important story, but how you actually feel walking around a place is super valuable information as well. So does Hoboken deserve all the hype and all the news stories about their safety record? Absolutely. They've shown what it takes for a city to really improve pedestrian safety and safety for everyone in terms of transportation. By applying a systematic and extremely cost-effective approach, they're able to hit all these different locations with some form of safety measure, and it shows in both the data and how it feels to walk around. So Hoboken, it was a pleasure to visit your city today. You are a role model for other cities, and I think a lot of people can learn from what Hoboken is doing.